What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going through my Game Week 23 Premier League predictions. Starting off with two of the most overachieving clubs this season, Bournemouth host Nottingham Forest. Now the last two seasons have seen Bournemouth draw 1-1 with Nottingham Forest at the Vitality, but in those two seasons Forest have lost 3-2 at home. This season they drew 1-1 at the City Ground. Does that mean they're going to draw 1-1 here again? Does it mean Bournemouth win 3-2 at home? Does it mean Forest win 3-2 because they're the away team and the home team has never won this fixture in the Premier League? I don't know. Bournemouth are obviously going through a very bad injury crisis right now. They have pretty much no depth, but their first 11 has been very good and they demolished Newcastle at St James's. Nottingham Forest did get over the line against another South Coast club last time out against Southampton. They should have been much more comfortable and there's been some big transfer links. I think this is going to be a very tight game. Bournemouth won't find it as easy to carve through this Nottingham Forest defence because away from home especially they are very compact. They will make it difficult to break down, and just because they've got no options for bench I think they will struggle to win, but I've gone with a 1-1 draw. Howson and Zabani shut Isak out last time out. They're probably one of the few players that you might back to do it against Chris Wood as well because he has been scintillating. But if Nottingham Forest do take the lead in this game, I don't think they walk away without the 3 points. Brighton against Everton. Everton won their last game against Tottenham. David Moyes took charge and already they do look a lot better going forward. Lindstrom in particular was fantastic in that game. Jake O'Brien got his first start and looked really good. I don't know why Sean Dyche wasn't playing him before. Brighton also got a fantastic win at Old Trafford, but they always beat Man United, so it's not even a surprise anymore. But they do also always struggle to beat the teams that you would expect them to beat, and Everton are probably one of those. They did win 3-0 at Goodison earlier in the season in the first game, but I don't think that happens here. I've gone with a 1-1 draw. Brighton do just struggle to break these sorts of teams down, man. Everton are going to be very resilient defensively, and Lewis Dunk at the back just does not fill me with any confidence from a Brighton point of view. Liverpool against Ipswich, the team at the top of the league versus one of the teams in the bottom 3. Ipswich were smashed by Manchester City last time out, and it could really happen again if I'm honest. If Jacob Greaves is back, it will not be 6. I think it'll be 3-1, that's my prediction. Well, I've only predicted this because I'm anticipating Jacob Greaves returning. If he is out for this one again, it could be another 6, it could be 7. But Liverpool did just play in the Champions League and they played quite a strong team. Salah and Van Dijk played all 90 minutes. Gravenberch played the first half as well, which I don't really think was necessary. But it's a game they will still win fairly comfortably. Maybe 3-1's a bit low, probably should have gone 4, but I'm going to back Ipswich to do a little bit better. Southampton against Newcastle. Southampton have lost all their games under Djuric, despite looking significantly better than they did under Russell Martin. Newcastle lost their winning run after losing to another South Coast club last time in Bournemouth. Perfect opportunity to bounce back is playing Southampton, and I think Newcastle win this fairly comfortably, 3-0. Ben Britton Diaz has run off back to the Championship. Hopefully he fails there as well. But if Newcastle are serious about Champions League, this is a game you have to win comfortably. I know Southampton did give Liverpool problems early in the season. Newcastle shouldn't really have too many other distractions. The Carabao Cup game isn't for another week and a half, and they should be angry after their performance last time out. Eddie Howe is always much worse against Bournemouth than he is against any other team as well, so I anticipate Newcastle getting back to winning ways. Wolverhampton Wanderers against Arsenal. Wolves have reverted back to type almost. They had a good start under Pereira and they're now on a streak of 3 straight losses, although, I mean, Nottingham Forest and Chelsea you would expect to lose to. And Newcastle, how did I forget about that one? Yeah, of course. They wouldn't have been expected to win any of those 3. Maybe could be a bit disappointed with the way they went down, although they have still been creating a few chances. However, there's also big tension with Mateus Cunha and the manager now, after the manager seemed angry with his supposed attitude, his body language. It's a bit harsh to single him out in front of everyone, especially when he's been their only shining light this season. And Arsenal have also been very heavily linked to them. Arsenal will be disappointed with the fact that they couldn't beat Wolves' West Midlands rivals Villa last time after having a 2-0 lead. They did win in the Champions League, putting a good performance. Declan Rice scoring. What a boy, love him. Ethan Nwaneri is back, Calafiori is back. So they are starting to, get their numbers up again. Saliba won't be back, which is huge. But with the form Wolves are in, I think they will get fairly comfortably beaten here. They're going to concede 3 again. I've gone once again with 3-1 win for Arsenal. I do think Wolves will score. I don't know, I feel like there'll be a mistake at the back. Without Saliba, they're not as fluid and as comfortable. Oh, Manchester City against Chelsea. Wow. Man City looked like they were kind of back a little bit. I mean, I know they didn't play anyone too hard and they did bottle their 2-0 lead to Brentford, but they were looking good. And then they went to Paris and got humbled. They were demolished. Do you know what I mean? Phil Foden, what? This guy does not turn up in big games. You know what I mean? If Kevin De Bruyne gets taken off, isn't on the pitch, he is absent. He does nothing. He is a striker. He's been misprofiled as a 10. He's shit. Man City as a whole, though, are so vulnerable in transition still, man. Kusanov is going to have a big task on his hand, because I feel like he's been tasked with that whole responsibility of trying to help deal with that. And of course, you know, he's a quick centre-back. He's probably going to play a right-back. But he's not a midfielder. Why have they not gone out and signed a midfielder? Marmoush, brilliant player. You know, he's been fantastic this season. Did they even need him? Like, Doku plays out on the left, and he's been really good. Savinho has started to show some sort of form. Grealish played really well against PSG. I don't know, I feel like they should have just gone out and bought a midfielder instead. But Chelsea themselves are in a bit of a pickle. Like, Caicedo is their only real fit midfielder. Jersey Hall looked awful for Wolves. Fernandes and Lavia probably not going to be fit for this game. Reece James could play in midfield, but will he be able to handle the physicality of that? You don't want another injury for him, because that would be heartbreaking. He's fantastic when he's fit. It's just a question of how you can keep him fit. And playing him in a really intense role when he's just come back is not the way to do that. Also, Cole Palmer has been heavily restricted over the last few games, which is why Chelsea have been so much worse. You know, why is Maresca obsessed playing in that left half space when he's clearly better in the right half space or on a more free role? And especially against the Manchester City team, you've got to let him roam wherever he wants, because there's a lot of space and he has to be the one to utilise it, because he's significantly more talented than anyone else that Chelsea can play in that position. João Felix is shit. I'm sorry, he's a good dribbler, but that's all he has. No decision making whatsoever. This should be a really open game, and if I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of I'm dreading it, because I think Chelsea might win. But I've been biased. I'll be straight. I'll be honest. I'm gone 2-1 City, but it is more hope than anything. Crystal Palace against Brentford, London derby. Both sides drew the first 5 meetings with each other, but the last 2 have had winners, and both winners have been the home team, although last time Brentford did clearly rob Crystal Palace, so they should be looking for a bit of revenge. It's 12th against 11th. Brentford will obviously defend quite deep and look to hit Palace in transition, but Palace are quite good in transition themselves. They've got quick defenders, and I don't think Brentford are going to be able to deal with Jean-Philippe Mateta. He's in fantastic form, scoring each of the last 3 games. Scored a brace last time out in another London derby against West Ham. I think he'll score 2 again. I've gone 3-1 Palace. Hopefully it's a repeat of last season at Selhurst Park. With the way both teams are playing as well, I've been much more impressed with Crystal Palace. I did speak about him a little bit before, but Nottingham Forest have put a bid in for Johan Visser. Could his head be turned? He's now 28. He probably wants to play in the Champions League. He might, you know, be like, oh, yo, let me go, man. We could see Ramanessa in action for the first time in the Premier League as well. That would be quite exciting. Tottenham Hotspur against Leicester. Honestly, this is a really difficult one to predict, because both teams are absolutely horrible right now. Leicester are winners from 8 in the Prem. They've lost 7 on the bounce. That is unacceptable. And Tottenham themselves have only got 1 point in the last 6. So they're not doing very well either. We also know that Dr. Tottenham comes to those who need it. And Leicester are in desperate need of a win. Could Tottenham gift it to them? Probably. They did just win the Europa League against Hoffenheim. But again, they could be knackered for this game, man, because they could hardly rotate. They haven't got many options. I think Romero should be back, but he's been horrible this season. But to be honest with you, Leicester could easily win this game if Van Nistelrooy plays Bonanote and El Khanous. And obviously if Vardy stops being as bad as he has been the last couple of games. He does always like playing against Tottenham though, and I'm going to back him to probably get a goal in this game. I have gone with a 2-2. Claret and Blue derby next. Villa, West Ham. Ooh, this is a tricky one again to predict. Villa did lose in the Champions League, and they used a very strong squad, but obviously couldn't rotate because they were losing. I think John Duran has to start, but he might not. He has been a big transfer target at West Ham again. They should have just signed him in the summer when they had the chance, man. That was one of the worst decisions any football club's ever made. I do think Villa will be tired, and they've got another Champions League game coming up in midweek. They kind of have to win that, otherwise they probably won't get through in the top 8. That could be playing on their minds. And for that reason, I've gone with a 1-1 draw. I don't think West Ham will win just because they have so many attacking players out, so it's going to be very difficult for them to get goals. But Villa always struggle after a European game. Like, they hardly ever win. I don't remember the last time they won after a European night. And I think that trend continues. And finally, Fulham against Manchester United. Manchester United are actually playing right now as I'm recording this in the Europa League, and they are 1-0 up against Rangers. Fulham, as much as I don't like saying this, are so good to watch. Like, they're tactically so brilliant. Marco Silva bangs every single game that he plays. You know, he knows when they have to be a bit more conservative. He knows what personnel to play in the midfield. He knows when to go to a back 5. He's so intelligent. And Man United always do struggle in games where they're expected to win. I think, well, I don't know if you'd expect them to win this, considering how the two teams' seasons have gone so far. But I think Fulham will definitely dominate the game. They'll have most of the chances, but at the same time, I think they may struggle to play through Man United. I think they'll be very defensive, and that could, to be fair, they have got players like Smith Rowe, Iwobi, Pereira, who do quite like playing against these sorts of teams. I don't really want to have to predict the Fulham win. Obviously, as a QPR fan, don't like them. But I do think they are going to win. I've gone 2-1 Fulham. Again, they've got a Europa League game that they kind of do need to win on Thursday night. So, yeah, I think that will play on their minds a bit. And obviously, they're not really in any relegation danger, but they are in with a good chance of winning the Europa League, so they do have to prioritise that competition. And Fulham have been so good this season, especially at home, man. They dominate nearly every single team they play on their own patch. Those are my predictions. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you soon for another video.